Hey, welcome to GiveMeApps, your app mall, the #1 independent app store. Today we're checking out Agile Business Continuity. This is by John Salter for the iOS and Android platforms. This app serves as a risk management or risk assessment tool for which you and your team can discuss the impact a hazard may have on some aspect of your business. You can see the title card here. It says Agile Business Continuity. We're going to take a look at the main screen. You have these different hazards. Many of these are stock. They are included with the app. You have geological, meteorological, biological, human-caused, technological, economic, financial, strategic, and you can see we added the word smog there. If you notice, it says here, select the hazard category, then scroll down to select a hazard to consider, and every one of them has a certain level of impact. And again, we're talking about the impact a hazard may have on your business. Now take a look at biological as an example. We can tap on that, and you have the hazard significant. That's the level that we were talking about, the hazard significance. You can see that there are some impacts here, what I want to call sub-hazards, pandemic diseases, and foodborne illnesses. That's just one of many different categories. We're going to take a look at one that's pretty easy to understand, and that would be technological. Every business has some type of technological component, and if you notice here, we have the level of 4, the hazard significance. We can change that level if we'd like to do that, and we have the hardware, software, and network connectivity interruption, disruption, or failure. We have utility interruption, disruption, or failure. Notice that these have their own levels. If we tap on the hand claps, take a look at these care-abouts. Now, care-abouts, I want to make it very clear that when we talk about the impact, we're talking about on certain aspects or some aspects of your business. These impacts would affect some type of asset, and those assets don't necessarily have to be material. They could be people, your employees. It could be the premises, as you can see here, processes, or providers. You can also add other care-abouts, and if you notice, we can change that impact level. We're up at 9 right now, but we can go as low as we'd like. We're going to get out of here momentarily and take a look at the hazard significance. I like this here. When attributing a level of significance to the hazard, consider past recurrence intervals, future likelihood of occurrence, speed of onset, how quickly it might be upon us, the magnitude, how big it will be, duration, how long it will stay, timing, intensity, potential area of coverage, and perception. So whenever we're considering the hazards or attributing a level of significance to the hazard, we have to consider all of those items there. Now, as you can see here, it does say 4. I don't like 4. I would probably go with 9. And just so you understand how this goes, we can simply edit, and we can make this a 9. Now, if I'm running, say, like an IT consulting firm, then this is going to have a much higher level of significance here. So we're going to tap on save. It's now at 8. So let's go with that. Now, we can now look at the different, what I'm going to call sub-hazards. We have the hardware, software, and network connectivity, interruption, disruption, or failure. And that's something that could be very real in any business, in any discipline, really, in any profession. But we're going to go with that for this overview just to demonstrate how this works. So we're going to go in here, we're going to tap on the hand claps, and we have the people, premises, processes, providers, and we can go further than that if we'd like. Just take a look here. You can edit this if you like. You can edit the hazard type. Take a look here, and you can attribute the level of significance to each relevant type of hazard. And we're going to click on cancel just for that. Now, if we go out here and we scroll down, you see we have the next over here. Now, when we tap on next, take a look. We can start calibrating things. We can assess the risk to people. Now take a look here. Describe people. What staff do you require to carry out the prioritized activities? What skills, levels of expertise is required to undertake those prioritized activities? What is the minimum staffing level with which you could provide some sort of service? And you can add notes. Now here's the meat of this. We can assess our care-abouts. Remember those care-abouts that we spoke about earlier? How significant is this care-about? Now notice the word calibrate up there. You're going to see a couple of meters here on the bottom, and they're going to move up or down depending on how you assess these care-abouts. So let's go back and just take a look at this. Describe the people. What staff do you require to carry out the prioritized activities? Just for the sake of this overview, let's just say we're looking at the impact of people. We're not going to consider all of this stuff. We just want to show you how this works. All right, so how significant is this care about? We're talking about people. Is it high or is it low? We're going to say it's going to be high. If we're missing staff, if we lose staff, that's going to be a big deal. or the impact of this on staff will be a big deal. That's what we meant to say, or what I meant to say. How vulnerable is this care about? We can say high, but just take a look at the meters here. As we go down, we have the before impact risk and the after impact risk. So consider what will happen if just this in the clear, this by itself. What does this mean? So we're talking about like the before impact risk, and then of course if this thing were to go full throttle, how would it affect us afterwards? All right, so we can calibrate this. We have the how significant is this care about, how vulnerable is this care about, and how impacted is this care about. Now take a look here. We bring this up, it stays at 10. We bring this down, and the meter goes all the way to 0. All right, so we're thinking about the impact, and again, before impact risk and the after impact risk. And we have a couple of other items here as well. Take a look here. Describe the premises. We spoke about that. What locations do the prioritized activities operate from? You would consider all of these items here. And of course, when discussing this with your team, you would add some notes here. Assess your care abouts. How significant is this care about? And we go on from there. The same deal. We can see the before impact and the after impact risk. Now I'm going through this smoothly. I'm rushing through this just to show you how this would work in practice. But if you were sitting down with your team and you were trying to calculate how this would impact your business and your assets, again, this being people or material things, it could be your building, it could be your infrastructure, whatever it is that you're talking about. Once you're finished with this process, you will then generate a report. Assess the risk to processes, same deal, processes, and we can go down with to the bottom, assess the risk to providers. All right, so remember, you set up these care abouts. So these are stock, but if you were to create your own hazard and go down the hierarchy, you would then do the same type of assessment with those care abouts that you inputted yourself. All right, so once we're done with all of this, we can share that out, or we can just tap on next. Now take a look here. You have your operability plan. You have your header, description, what needs to be done, what is needed to do it. All right, and take a look here. We can track, is this work progressing in a way that is likely to achieve what is required? The budget, is this work progressing within the amount you have available to spend? And the time, is this work progressing within the schedule you have agreed to meet? Now, in my business, the company that I work for, I could totally see this being used, and it's in the education sector. So this, the hazards that are listed in the app, they affect or can affect any type of business. But again, from my personal perspective here, I would imagine a team sitting down with this and using this to assess those risks. Of course, you could sit there and do this by yourself, but this app would be very useful in creating lots of conversation and setting up contingency plans and just planning throughout or planning through to make sure that if you were to come across one of these hazards, you would be best equipped to handle it. It should be pointed out that John Salter also has the We app. We did an overview of that not too long ago. So once we tap on next, once we're done with that, we have to enter the name. We have to enter all this stuff here. We're just going to call this plan just to do it. You have your description. We're going to put ... Of course, you would be adding all of the details if you were sitting down with your team. All right, and of course, we have these down here, and we can tap on next. Now, take a look, and here is the report. All right, guys, we said a mouthful here. This went on for almost 9 minutes, but of course, if you were sitting down with your team, you would take your time with this, and the reports, you would look at that and discuss that. You can create a PDF, and the report would be a PDF. All right, and so guys, that's it. That's it. This app has complex inner workings. A nice tutorial is included with the app. You have the instructions here. Take a look here. You have the hazard risks and the care abouts. You have the examples of the hazards, and it is a 10-page tutorial, just so you know. Very well laid out, gives you lots of information, and breaks down to you, the use cases of the app and, the inner workings of it. So there you have it. Agile Business Continuity from John Salter, another heavyweight app. What is being added to a suite of tools that every business should have in their arsenal. Guys, this is the GiveMeApps YouTube channel. GiveMeApps is the world's #1 independent app store. If you're a developer, We are the only app store where you don't pay any developer fees and you get to keep 100% of your profits. Do check this out. Let us know what you think about it. Show us how you use this app in a response video, and leave your critique below. Do reach out to the developer, give some feedback. We are always passionate about helping developers get better and put out better products. We hope you enjoyed this, guys. Till next time.